When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever.
Sick with the talk, the pass to your receiver.
All about running the spot.
And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather.
Cardio kingpin.
Subjugate the dub play.
And you know we can't wait to bring spins.
A-star quizzes, A+ the final.
Vocals we align, we'll move it all
simultaneously over joints and rock.
We earn
30 years, so you can say we got
3 turns.
Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men.
We install doubt in you and your yes men.
And if the game had veins, we'll insert
upheaval the ground.
Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. We're leaving the kings of all crowns. So are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Like rocket fuel.
It's time for the NFL playoffs on EA Sports, and we are in a city that sure had its share of memorable playoff games in the past, Pittsburgh, PA at Heinz Field. Today we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Tennessee Titans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC Wild Card game. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Check 55, Mike. Man, I got you. 55.
King on 1st and 10. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run with the NC State man. It's Jalen Samuels. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
At the Titans' 48-yard line.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches.
Check the hot read. Showing it. Check 4.
To throw is King. Off play action. Open man here is Gentry. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 33.
Well, I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan, and he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
They'll run it here with Logan. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. The tackle made by Levi Wallace.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. So 1st and goal and an opportunity for our first points in this wild card game. On 1st down, it's Samuels. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
They'll run with Samuels. And he is going to lose yardage here. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Looking to throw. King.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
Daniel Carlson on for the field goal. A 22-yard attempt.
The kick by Carlson is good. Every possession in the postseason magnified. And look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Let's go. 10 Lobo. 22 Jet Bomber. 22 Jet Bomber. Leo.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
Bravo.
They'll look to throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll set up a throw. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter.
With the score, Steelers 3, Titans
Go now. Dragstone, travel. 90 Wolf. Hard. 2.
A first down carry for Henry. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check 99. Check 99.
X3. 218. Chop. Hey, Sam off. Get it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
1st and 10.
One play has them to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
Check it back. Check it back. Switch.
They'll run again with Samuels on 1st down. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish. and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Johnson, the intended target. Third down here.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. King. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 48-yard line. They run with Logan. Give him a couple on the carry there. Second and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8.
We own them. Check.
Looking to throw. King. This is Jeff Swain, the tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 35.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Keep going. Match box. Right. Three. Watch safety creeping.
They'll run on first down. Samuels. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Dancing to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Tack McKinley able to get him for a loss of about 3. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on third and long. Here's King. From the gun, he'll throw. And that is incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Derrick Henry, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl.
Check, 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 check.
Matchbox lights. Look, squeeze.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White, and he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Looking to throw. He finds Corey Davis. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. They're going to look to throw. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 28.
Well, we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the first down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterbacks
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a very good return as he takes us all the way up to the 35-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10. Now King operating from the gun. He finds his man Johnson. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
On first down, it's Logan. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
That's another Steelers first down. First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Check, ready. Go to base. They're going to need some therapy after this.
So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Again, it's Henry. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Hey, we gotta get this stop here, D. He's checking, he's checking, he's checking. Go on. Switch.
Now, on play action, they'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That's pulled in at the 32. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over.
On the ready. 52. I got you.
King now on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. King going to throw again. Pass incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You can't just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6. Uncorks one for Davis. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
They'll set up to throw. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
How did he do that? How did he do it? I mean, in this type of weather, it's not just catching it, it's seeing it coming towards it. Maybe that's why he ended up having to go up one-handed, but boy, what a catch.
That was a spectacular one-handed grab.
Check.
Topper!
Set. Watch the eye.
Go out! Be grip!
They'll run on first down. It's Henry. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Coaching spell.
Check 3. Back. Hey, switch gears.
Back to throw here. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 28. I love that play because in the snow you think run. Big passing play there.
And defenders hate it, especially in open space, because trying to come under control, break down, and make a tackle in the open field, difficult in normal conditions. In these conditions, almost impossible.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll run it again with Henry. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Henry. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. An 18-yard touchdown run. And the Titans are going to retake the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
55 must. I know he ain't got it. Mike 55, Mike 55.
Back to throw. King. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. They were looking for Johnson that time.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Henry. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
It's a gain of 23 yards.
Hey, Sam off.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Letting one go deep for the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. This is caught and into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. From 21 yards away. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd? And they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on. And remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there.
Brandon, there have been some memorable snow games for championships in the NFL. 1948, Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Cardinals.
Well, the most famous one in my lifetime, I think, is got to be 01, right? Raiders, Patriots, to send the Patriots to the Super Bowl.
You had to go to the Tuck roll, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one people remember. But I also know this. In Miami, the infamous one, the snowplow game. In New England, when they went out there and the Patriots had a guy come out and clear a spot on the field for their field goal kicker to kick the game winner.
Is that 82?
That was 82, and the Dolphins fans will never forget it.
Well, we're not seeing one of those famous games here, but it's fun to be in the snow nonetheless. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Titans. 20, 10, and they are going to bring this one back. A fumble return touchdown for the Titans. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why.
And they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl.
And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
To throw is King. Throwing on first down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And an alley to run. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and that might be Titan football. It is.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
SOS, SOS.
Check 52. Check, check. Look, squeeze. Right up.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Here we go. Big Dan,
Look at me. Go.
let's go.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Going long here for Wallace. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. We're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
30 base.
54 fight. Man, give these tracks. Let's go.
5.
They'll drop the throw. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 23.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Ready, set.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
Shoot.
He'll drop to throw. They set up the screen for Henry. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Staying on the ground with Samuels. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
A loss of 1 brings up 3rd and 8.
Let's get it.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Titans. And they'll indeed take a knee.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Steelers' 30-yard line.
Well, 1 win down, still 3 to go to get to the most hallowed ground in sports, but a good start.
A terrific start because they get to move on. Unfortunately for the team that lost, it's a long offseason ahead for them now.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more,